Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, I think we did it. I think we cracked 20,000 subs. If not, we're two away. So we'll see. But I think by the time this video goes up, we'll have done it. Anyway, I want to say thank you. I do appreciate it. It's been a tremendous amount of work, but a tremendous amount of fun. I really love doing YouTube. It's my favorite social media by far. But if you do want to follow me online, I would recommend Twitter now, to be honest. I think Twitter works well for me, and I'm not on it a lot, but it seems like a decent way to communicate. And Instagram, I don't know, there's something about Instagram I'm just not a huge fan of. But anyway, so what we're going to look at today to celebrate, and this is Super Fun Sunday, but I'm not going to be around today, so I'm shooting this on Saturday. But I was just logging on my computer and I was like, I should really shoot a video for tomorrow. And I came up with the idea of Capullo. Capullo on my Patreon in particular is a very, very popular artist. Whenever I do reviews and lessons, I always ask the people, who are some of their favorite artists, who are some influences or inspirations. And Greg is someone who's on a lot of people's lists, and people love his work, and understandably so. So what I did for Patreon this morning was I actually looked at Greg's very, very first published professional work. Now, from what I could tell, his first professional work, although people will think it's Quasar or possibly X-Force, I think. He did a What If in 1989 that's exceptional with Daredevil. And I did a 23-minute video where we actually looked through that book, and I picked it apart pretty well. And that's on Patreon right now. And then what I thought I would do is kind of where Greg took all the raw talent and ability and everything that he had learned, not only from where he started, but where he ended up, is a real high water mark for him. So yeah, we're gonna look at Batman Unwrapped: The Court of Owls. I've already shot the video. This is just an intro I'm doing at the end. The video is an hour and 22 minutes long, so settle in. It's gonna be a long video with tons of awesome pencils. I did not go through the whole Unwrapped book, and so there's still surprises in it. If you haven't read it, obviously you'll want to. And then I wanted to do a quick shout out to two artists who are involved in this project but won't be as featured in this particular book, which is Jonathan Glapion, who is an outstanding inker and obviously very famous for the incredible work that he did on Capullo, and then FCO Colors. So, although this focuses on Greg's pencils, anyone who knows comics knows how amazing the whole enchilada was on this job. So anyway, settle in. Thank you so much for 20,000 subscribers. I hope that this video is a lot of fun and educational, and you get a laugh or two as you watch it. And what is Super Fun Sunday? Oh, and happy Father's Day, by the way, to anyone who's a father out there. And it's going to be super fun. All right, let's go. Shut that one. All right, so let's get into the comic itself. I love the first page of the book. I really do. I think, man, it's so cool looking. The colors were great on it too, but this shot right here is beautiful. We're looking through the chain link fence. I mean, it's just like McFarlane 101. We're peeking around this trash can at a beat up theater with hobos. I mean, this is right out of Spawn. And I mean, when I say Spawn, I mean Greg Capullo's Spawn. I know it's Todd's book, but as I mentioned in the Patreon video, man, Greg owned Spawn after a while and really was just outstanding on it. But this is great. It's such a cool opening little triple panel thing. This is so cool, man. The tight shot of the fence, and it's very clear storytelling. I did a review. Powell will watch this because I know he already had watched or started watching the other video that I did. But this is kind of what I'm talking about. Is I'm still not getting confused of what's going on from panel to panel, even though Greg is using some sort of like macro sort of zoom on this fence. There's still a point of interest that's kind of clearly identified. So, all right, let's go. And this was a real fun story to read too. That was the great thing about it, is it was not only really pretty art, but it was actually a very, very fun mystery, comic story. So it was all that. Man, this is so great. It's funny because although it's just a coincidence more than anything. But this actually reminds me a little bit of something that you might see Silvestri do. And Mark, where the hell is your Batman book? Come on, dude. The world needs that. And it better be in black and white. I'm going to throw a fit. It's fine if they color one version of it, but if they do not release the Mark Silvestri Batman, Bernie Wrightson styled comic in black and white, I'm going to start a riot. No, I know that they will. There's no way that they wouldn't. All right. So we got, what I don't know, who is this guy? Professor Pig? You know, it's funny. He really does look like a pig. Who is this dude? I don't know the character. His Mr. Freeze is funny. He looks very much like almost like the one from the TV show. The old school TV show. You know, it was interesting. So David Finch and I did Batman Dark Knight around this time too, and we had an Arkham breakout coincidentally in our story. It was a little frustrating because our first issue had a lot of things that this first issue had, and I remember seeing this comic and going like, we're gonna get creamed, because like our book came out after this, and there was just, you know, Bruce Wayne talking at a function, the Arkham breakout. It was too many similarities, and I've said in past videos, it was a shame that editorially speaking that they didn't pick up on that more, because although you could go, oh well, it's kind of cool, like the story's being told in different books, that wasn't what they were doing, and so it just looked like we were like a, you know, a funky version of this. I'm just soaking this in. This is a really, really beautiful thing. The hands are great. There's so much good shit going on. He's great with the folds on the clothes too, and the creases and stuff like that. Really, really get a sense of this beautiful stretch on this. This is really nice. Dude's like, man. So I'm sure a lot of you were probably big fans of Greg's basic training that he did. I thought it was fantastic, and he seemed like such a genuinely nice guy, and not only was he an exceptional teacher in those little articles, he gave really, really good tips, you know, was legit. So those books are out there. You can get that, the Greg Capullo basic training. I'm nearly sure they collected it. This is great, this fight scene, man. So we got Batman leaping in. He's just, you know, knocking into all these dudes. We've got Killer Croc like reeling back and stuff like that. The size relationship between the two of them is a little funky for me. I do definitely picture Killer Croc a little bit bigger than this guy, but you know, it's not a huge deal. But yeah, I would think Killer Croc is gigantic. I picture him like 7 to 9 feet tall. But this is awesome. Him punching the Harvey Dent. This is all really, really good. Man, fucking Capullo, so good. Really, really nice pose there. And so I can point this out, because this is something, too, to take into consideration if you're working on your pencils and trying to learn. Okay, you know, I think a lot of times when we're learning to draw, we tend to want to show everything. And you can see clearly here that Greg didn't necessarily feel like he needed to make sure that you knew, you know, where this foot was, or that this hand was planted, you know, here. And so it's one of those things where sometimes overdrawing actually, one, it'll slow down the actual image because there's too much information, and someone getting their leg broken like this is going to be such a fast beat that how much of the information would your brain actually really process? It would probably just process the key things that are happening in the scene. And so, you know, this idea of, oh, like this dude doesn't draw feet or whatever, you know, that's not really what we're doing here. This is a very, this happens in a split second. And I think him leaving stuff out actually was a very, very good call. I mean, this is obviously, there's like smoke or tear gas going on. But anyway, something to consider, because I know that we have the best intentions when we're learning to draw, and we want to draw everything. But that little bit of open, sort of let the reader fill things in, really, really will be to your advantage. And it looks cooler, and it's a little bit easier to do. Yesterday on Twitter, I recommended Joe Kubert, the Kubert School uploaded about a 55-minute inking video from Joe Kubert's old correspondence course. I guess they were probably VHS tapes that they sent out. Very worthwhile, one, subscribing to that channel and checking it out, and two, watching the videos that Joe Kubert himself actually teaches and explains his thoughts on comic book art, because he talks about that you really, really important to let the reader use their imagination in your comic art. It just makes the art funner and more engaging, and you'll be like this guy. All this is going on, and he's like, I just want to read my funny book. All right, let's continue. We have so many pages to go. Oh yeah. His face right here is so funny. It looks like it reminds me of something from like Bugs Bunny, like it's not the witch that the bobby pins always come off. This is a very Chuck Jones face though. It's like evil and sort of like mischievous, but also cute at the same time. I could see Capullo definitely being a fan of Chuck Jones. This is nice. Yeah, the going through that what if issue that Greg did before this was really, really interesting. I think a great setup for this. So head over to Patreon. I'll have a link. I'm gonna have links to Capullo and Scott Snyder in the description box, and then I'll have a link to my Patreon if you want to check out. I would recommend following me on Twitter. It really is kind of the place that I'm the most active, although I'm not really aggressively. Oh, well, YouTube is where I post the most, but Twitter would be a second, Instagram third, Facebook somewhat. But anyway, this is nice. Oh, I guess that's Harley Quinn. It looked like a kid. I was like, who's this little girl here? Yeah, man, he's got a little bit of Jack Davis in his stuff too. Like that face reminds me a little bit of like a Jack Davis drawing. Oh man, this is so good. He's so his clothing is so nice, and you know, most people that follow this channel for a while know how huge of a Silvestri fan I am, and Kelsey, in fact, too. We both love Mark's, especially his Marvel stuff, like the Uncanny X-Men and the Wolverine stuff in particular is great. But man, Capullo really captures that spirit with this kind of stuff. It's just got that really kinetic vibe. I mean, there's just something really magical about it, you know, and it really, really works well for comics. And I mean, you know, oh man, it's great too. And you can bring a lot of different stuff into a look like this. The thing is if Greg wants to sort of rein it in and do stuff that's a little tighter, or bring in some Shiro. I sometimes see a little Atomo in his work. I don't know if it's just me projecting, but occasionally I see little things that lead me to believe that maybe at one point he was into it a little. Who knows, though? That's just speculation on my part. Of course, you've got to have a classic scene with Gordon and Batman on the rooftop. He did not skimp on background in these panels at all, so kudos to him for that. I don't know. I might be dropping out some buildings in a shot like this and just had drawn Batman. It depends, I guess. His page rate might be more than mine. This shit is crazy. I mean, props to Glapion for being able to like dig in and do stuff like this, because this will really you have to have a high level of patience to do a page like this, and just know that it's going to take as long as it takes, because you start trying to rush through things, it's not going to look good. Your best bet, honestly, if you're inking a piece like this, is kind of to fill the blacks in along the way. It might be tempting to do them at the end, but I mean, you could leave maybe the characters out, but like the backgrounds and stuff like this, you really kind of want to see how it's coming together and control your values. Because the thing is the blacks are going to be very, very strong. John's always really great at putting texture on things, so he would go in and chip these up with white ink and maybe a little bit of splatter and some kind of magic dust that he puts on the pieces. But even within that, I mean, it's like you've got black, you've got gray, which would be these lines, you've got, you know, double kind of waggly lines, you've got architecture. It still needs to show up in here, you know. I really, really actually hope, and I can't imagine that they wouldn't do it. At some point, DC has to do a gallery edition of this, full size from the original inks, because I think it's just money they're leaving on the table if they don't. I have the absolute versions of it, but they're big, but not shot from the original pencils and inks. This is great. I love shots like this. Really, really nice. This is so good too. God damn. So yeah, thank you all for 20,000 subs. You know I'm sassy. You know I'm hysterically funny at times. You know I'm annoying. That laugh, you hear it in your dreams. Stop laughing, Rich. You're not that funny. But anyway, you know, we try to make it entertaining. You kind of develop your sort of YouTube personality as you sort of go, oh, this is so bad. See, we had a Batcave spread too. It just all felt like it had been done before. I mean, not that this is such a like wild idea, but yeah, it was like, damn, like every freaking little thing that we had in our book that I was like excited for people to see was in this comic. New 52 was a it's like, what happened? Man, this is badass. I don't think Finch knew either, though, to be honest. I've never asked him about that, but I would be curious of what he thought of that. Because, again, Court of Owls came out first. It was one of the early launches in the New 52, and we might have been a week or two out from them. But, man alive, I saw it, and I was just like, what in the world is going on? Why is our comic so similar? Man, this is cool shit. This was an interesting shot to me. I always wondered like how he set this up, because it feels a little like, I don't know. It's like a little bit of a trippy choice. It's drawn well. I feel like I'm surprised that he didn't have a bit more of like the legs like in the scene, like the back legs a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it feels it's foreshortened well. But it feels like it's missing something to me. And this is nice. I mean, boy, the fact that he lays all this stuff out and then draws it is absolutely incredible. And this right here, you've got, man, it makes me want to, I wouldn't be able to play the game today, but it makes me want to watch like a walkthrough of one of the Arkham Knight games. Man, they're beautiful games. This is so fun. Everyone needs a Batcave. I think every superhero needs something like this. The Flash cave, the Blaster Kid cave, you know, whatever your favorite comics are. They all need a cave where there's just all the cool shit. Man, that's so good. Look at all the vehicles. It's crazy. Oh, I'm gonna want to watch this video today again and again and again, and I gotta work. I have two choices. I'm trying to draw the book in order, and I don't skip around and haven't yet. But I have a hard. So I generally, when I would ink, I worked always from hard to easiest. So no matter what I had at the house, I would always, if I had 5 pages, I would look for the page that I didn't want to ink, and that would be the one I would do first. And the one that looked really fun and I couldn't wait to get to, I would sit on that till the end. So in case my energy was depleted at the end of a job, I was always looking forward to the last thing that I worked. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was an easy piece. There was just something that I just naturally would gravitate and be into. So I have one hard page left of Crystal Planet, harder, and then I have one page that's almost exactly what I drew yesterday in terms of like what's going on. It's like a scene like this with 2 characters talking kind of for a couple of pages. So if I did that one today, would be easy just because I've already kind of dealt with the 2 characters for, you know, 13 shots of them. But the other one I kind of want to get out of the way, and then the thing that I'm saving for Tuesday, Wednesdays, I have a huge double page spread that's going to be super hard but super fun. So like I've a lot of work left, kind of, because that spread, I mean, I would, if I had my way, I would actually draw the shit out of it. So we'll see how much time they're going to give me, but yeah, I think I'm just going to work in order. So whatever page is up is what I'll do. I really like this page in the book. All the Robins, or I guess, I don't know what you call them, but like all of his little sort of minions here is pretty cool. And hey, man, like stuff like this background, so nice. This has a little bit of a Leave It to Beaver vibe. I could picture Ward sitting here. What's up, Beav? What are you doing? All right. And we had this scene in our book too. It's really, really nicely done, though. We won't waste too much time on that. You can see how nice these unwrapped books are, though. I mean, this is actually very, very cool, you know. This is a lot of dialogue. This is great. Look at those hands. Let's take a peek at these hands. This is nice. I've actually had to draw a lot of hands doing this. Mine aren't as nice as this. So, whoa. Interesting. I'm looking to see how much of the palm stuff that he throws in. He didn't really he doesn't have a lot of an indication of sort of where the fingers connect to the hand. That's nice. Nice. This is cool too. Sleeves. Get used to drawing sleeves, friends. It's not all about anatomy. Well, I will promise you that. The best laid intentions of grinding through months, years of anatomy, only to get your first script, and it's a party like this. And you're like, what about the anatomy? This is so good. Oh my gosh. But anatomy will help you set up your figures. But yeah, it's like people will wear suits and ties and have buckles and all kinds of stuff. This is pretty interesting little face on her. He actually makes their mouths quite wide. General rule of thumb would be kind of like you keep your mouth sort of in this area. He extends it. I mean, she's smiling, but it works. Yeah, she's got a very wide mouth. It's kind of the look that he's going for with her. It's a great caricature. God, this is so good. I love that. So the immediacy of his drawings is great, and these are awesome too. Okay, fun. All right, what do we got? His face. Man, he is so good. But I'll point this out because I've been saying this in a lot of videos, and I do want to stress this to people that are aspiring artists. If you are interested in penciling and you're trying to learn to pencil, I do highly recommend that you just focus on penciling and get real good at penciling, and then worry about potentially inking yourself, because you just see how much effort and how much skill someone like Capullo has on this. And he's got a huge right-hand man in his inker, which is Glapion, who's an expert at interpreting this stuff. And so they can both do their best work. And the thing is Greg is already doing amazing stuff, and John makes it more amazing. And so the thing is if you're penciling and inking this yourself, although if you have no deadline, sure, I mean, you could spend 5 days on a page like that. Sometimes I do think that people's time would be better spent on refining their actual drawing ability. And then, you know, then you can get into inking your own work. But most grade pencilers, they tend to get pretty good at drawing before they do it. But things have changed a lot. I get it, and especially if you're working digitally, people want to do it. This is classic. Really, really cool perspective on this, man. You can just feel this just great sense of. He's probably got a vanishing point somewhere up here. I don't know. It feels like it's like, yeah, it's like a 3-pointer. Man, it's so good. Man, what an iconic page. Oh, and this is so nice. Speechless. And this is a stat, except for Batmo. Yeah. So this area right here looks to be a stat. So can't change anything on this one that I see. Looks good though. I actually am a fan of stats, so it's one of those things where I don't dislike it. In terms of storytelling, I think it can be actually a very, very effective tool. Oh, the 7 sort of nod. This is so creepy. Oh, that's interesting. I'd have to look at what was here in the book. I can't remember. Is that a window? I don't know. It looks like, weren't they tapestries or something hanging up, or paintings? Really, really cool shot though. Man, so much good stuff. This is nice. So it's funny because, you know, the question is always like, what is Capullo going to work on next? I mean, obviously he's got some creator-owned book that he's doing, but if he ever went back to Marvel, you know what I would like to see him do is a really, really good Wolverine book. You know, maybe something that sort of takes place in the Savage Land at times in the story. Like, oh, I think he would just do an insane job on that. It would sell so good. Yeah, because I would always go like, if he left Batman, like what could he do? You know, and I know he's done Metal and Justice League and a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, for me, I've always gone like, man, I think he would do a kick-ass Wolverine series. It seems to fit his style and his aesthetic and the ferocity and stuff like that. I mean, Greg is definitely someone that could relate to a character like Wolverine, I think. I'm shooting a video. No biggie, but so you know. Yeah, this is nice. Great silhouettes. We've talked a little bit about Madureira. Oh, you know, there's a Madureira kind of version of this for Ultimates. It's a very expensive book, but you can actually get I guess it's pencils. Yeah, there's a pencils only version of Ultimates by Joe Mad, but it's very expensive if you try to seek it out now. But even Marvel has dipped their toe in this pool a little bit in terms of these types of books. And then Marvel actually does the director's cuts where it's just the pencils, just the inks, just the colors, and then the script. And those are digital. This is nice with Alfred. Oh man, this is such a kick-ass piece. Yeah, like I said, Greg's inks on himself for these pieces are so badass. He's really, really good inker. Great inker, in fact. Yep. Man, it's just nuts. Right. It's kind of interesting trying to think about what type of pencil Greg uses. There's a possibility that he may use two. He may use like a sharp pencil for some of his exterior lines, and he may block in with something that's, you know, more similar to like just like a regular pencil. He's clearly using a fairly soft lead, because you won't get that shading using like a 3 or 4H. I mean, I could be wrong, but he's pretty strong, so he may bear down, but I would assume that he's using a fairly soft lead. I mean, honestly, I would think it would be even softer than like this. I don't know, like F, maybe a 2B. This is dark. And I mean, granted, these could be like darkened scans, but even still, if you see it light, it's just hard to put down that much graphite on a harder lead. And H lead, I don't think H lead would do this. I don't know, has he ever talked about his pencil? But then, you know, you figure like some of his more detailed lines could be a mechanical pencil, like you know, a Pentel or fancy version of something like that. I don't know. This is nice. Man, great shots. This totally reminds me of something out of the video game. Bruce. Oh man, looks nice too. God dang. It's making me feel lazy. This is a lot of effort. He's really, really phenomenal at this. Man alive. I was saying on Patreon, Capullo is hands down. For people that get lessons and reviews from me, I generally will ask them who some of their favorite artists are, influences and stuff like that. Capullo is almost always on the lists. I can't think of anyone that is much. So, people appreciate you, Greg. This is nice. Oh yeah, this is a great sequence. I'm sorry, I was pointing with my finger, but this over here, this is really, really cool. Damn. No, we don't need to save the flag on that. Right. Look at this. Man, that is so great. Let's zoom in. Zoom a zoom. This guy's having a bad day. It's about to get worse. Oh, I love shots like this where you pull the camera way back and you get to see like the action really kind of taking off. And this is nice too. FCO did such a great job coloring these. The first 6 issues in particular are some of my favorite of the FCO colors. Here comes Batman. Oh, it's nice. But yeah, I would highly recommend you go check out Capullo's DeviantArt, although I don't think he's uploaded anything new there in a long time, but you need to check out those digitally painted pieces that he did, or digitally colored pieces that he did. They're really, really great. And he used to, sadly, post gigantic, huge scans of his pencils without the lettering, but people started to take advantage of it, and I think he pulled those all down or limited the amount of size that you could see them at, but he used to post them huge. So that was one bad apple spoiled the whole bunch kind of vibe when he had to take them down. I can't remember what was going on with that, but this is really great too. Damn, he's creates such a great mood. The lighting here, it really creates suspense. This is excellent too. That's why this stuff is so helpful to check out for everyone, even if you really don't draw like this. Just the ideas and the camera angles and stuff that this guy pulls together are just, man, it's hard to beat. That is an amazing shot. Oh, Greggy. All right, what do we got here? This is nice too. This is interesting too. Again, I had talked about doing a review recently. So this is a little hard to tell what exactly this is going on. You clearly see this is a light with like light here. But what Greg did really, really brilliantly is he immediately directs your eye to what he just showed you. That's the key if you're going to do super zoomed in stuff, is you have to make it very, very apparent what that macro shot was in the next panel, or it starts to become complicated to see. Even this right here, you might go, I don't know what the hell that is. And you kind of see this and you go, oh, okay, I see what we got going on here. Little things like that definitely help. So it's just you know, I had recommended to that person that they really need to check out artists if they're a fan of someone that's pulling in the camera that tight, is you need to see how they resolve those ideas in either the lead-in panel where they're setting it up, or the resolution panel, so that you understand what exactly you're looking at. Because just zooming in on stuff for the sake of the zoom can be disorienting for the viewer. This is nice. Oh my gosh. This is a little... What is going on? I'm trying to figure out why he's still up there. I don't see anyone holding his head up. Alfred is here. I mean, not Alfred, Gordon. But I don't understand how this guy's head is propped up. I'm assuming he's dead. Yeah, I don't really fully get why his head is like lifted there. All right, we can skip through this page pretty fast. We'll start to look at the showstopper pages. Okay, wait, let me see that. This is pretty nice. Really, really cool shot there. You know, his architecture is great. You know, he's able to bounce back and forth between these different aesthetics of dirty Gotham, more sort of expensive Gotham. His interiors really capture the spirit of, you know, the opulent, rich, and just, yeah, those contrasts. Really, really nice. Nice hand. This is cool. It's funny, you can see like the drapery hanging down here. He really fought the urge to like render here. You know, some artists would really go kind of crazy with some like detail and stuff like that on the face, but keeps it nice and smooth. Okay. Oh man. Who dat? Who dat? This dude looks like a troublemaker. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of black on this guy's costume. It's crazy. Man, it's so cool. Damn. This is a tremendous amount of work, honestly. It's really, really impressive what he did here. But boy, oh boy, these guys worked hard on this. Even a page like this, man, this is like, this pose. This is nice. I like how the jacket is opening here. This is all really cool. Oh man, that's a great shot too. Damn. Pulls the camera down low. Wow, that's really clever. This is great, this whole... And this helps, having the lines curved this way. This is cool. Nice hand. And then crack. Playtime is over. Alright. Let's continue, friends. Oh man, this is so good. That has got to be hard glass to break. Damn. That's so insane. Wow, what a fight scene. This has gone on for four pages now, is that right? That's pretty cool. Really gave him some time to play with things, and it doesn't feel repetitive at all. He's really mixed it up with ideas and shots, and you know, we got him falling out the window now. This is nuts. Oh man, that's great. Oh, this is really cool. I forgot about that. Man, I wonder if he was doing a page a day of this. I mean, I guess he could. Clearly, he knows how to draw. So the challenge for him, I think, generally speaking, would be probably the layout ideas, and then just having the energy to get through the pieces. I don't picture him getting hung up on like drawing problems, but maybe more the ideas. You know, it's like he's not going to struggle through something. This guy's a consummate professional at this point, and has drawn a ton of comic books on top of it. This is nice. Really, really impressive. And boy, I'll tell you what, here's a perfect example of pencils versus inks. I mean, Greg went in and knocked this out. This would take a while to ink. You know, you're gonna be digging in and really spending quite a bit of time inking a panel like this. It'll be fun. It'll look real neat when it's done. But yeah, you know, grab a ruler and your quills and brushes, and you're gonna be there for a while, or Copic multiliners, whatever you're using. This is a really nice sequence. Damn, this is awesome. Love this guy right here in particular. This is great too. Really, really nice. Like this, and then the folds under here. Pull on the jacket. Some wrinkles here. This is nice. And this is a really great little panel too. Cool down shot. I really like the addition of these characters right here. I think really make it nice, where it's like this would have been plenty, and he could have literally just had like some sidewalk and debris and stuff here, but putting the cops, like sort of keeping people out, I think is a really, really nice choice. And then this inside the ambulance is really, really cool too. This is great, in fact. Man, it's really nice. It's always fun to look at this stuff with you guys. I think we all look at it in a deeper way. I think I missed a page. Hold on, let me see. Did I? Maybe not. I thought I had hit the file below. So this is all blood splatter. I'm assuming Glapion inked this stuff. Maybe not. I'll read it later. I'm not going to read it right now. Beautiful little panel. This is great. We're inside the ambulance. This guy's like picking his nose, it looks like. Oh, this is his hand. So she sees the reflection of him here, and then this is his claws coming in on her. Man, that's cool. I love how little he shows of her, like crouching on it. Man, it's great. And this is just gnarly. Really, really nice sequence. Oh, comics, you were so cool. Nothing competes with comics. Another Greg piece. This looks like it's... Some of his pieces I do think were inked digitally, or maybe partially digitally. Still real good, man. Capullo's he's got the look, man. There's no two ways about it. He's the beast. The beast Capullo. Him and Zach Wild. They're the wild men of the entertainment field, in my opinion. He has all those Zach Wild guitars. It's awesome. This is cool. This is different. Again, you get a lot of opportunities to realize what he's showing you here. Though it's a Bigfoot, and you're not confused that it's this guy. This is a great panel right here. Man, I love this. Man. That's really cool too. Man, that's ballsy. Fully black face there. Just a little bit of white here and there. And then Capullo is going to do the heavy lifting, putting in the detail with the white. Even this, the back of the hair here is black. And this guy's face has got a lot of black on it too. You know, for people wanting to learn to ink, you want to test yourself. Try to do a page like this. You know, big splashy images are fun and all that, but I'll tell you what, you'll learn a lot trying to do a page like this. This looks really fun to ink. In fact, I would love to have taken a shot on Capullo, but it just never happened. So it's no biggie. Now I can draw and ink myself on things. So. But you know, the conflict of interest with that, like I said before, is just it's hard to do a job. But a crowdfunded book is different because you can spend more time on it. I've talked about this before. I'm going to fully pencil the book and then ink it. So it's like I'm going to literally split it into two different things, not do like partial pencils and then try to finish it in ink, you know. So like I said, it's really, really important to get your pencils in, you know, with something that looks like nice, you know, something that's really, really good. Very, very hard when you're starting, or even the first couple of years, to be able to finish things in ink and make it, I mean, it'll still look cool, but you know, you want to make sure that you're doing your best stuff. This is nice. God, man, savage. The position of the feet is great too. Oh, this is awesome. He does great sewer stuff. This is cool. Okay, let's keep it going. Kind of getting tired. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through all these files. This is a long video. We can hustle through the ones that are a little more mundane. Man, this is great. Oh, this is cool too. Silhouettes, man, they're your friend and they look great in a comic. This stuff is so wild. He's just taking the pencil and just knocking that stuff in. So ballsy. Oh man, that's great too. So getting caught up in the art, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I honestly don't remember this exact drawing in the book for some reason. I don't know why. It's pretty nuts. Oh my gosh, I got a pencil and ink a whole page today. It's already laid out though, but oh man, again with the big shadows on Batman, it's so cool. Or it's just the mask, but man, that looks great. We actually had some real good Batman stuff in this era. Some really, really good artists got on the title and did some pretty badass stuff. I like this. Oh yeah. Man, this is great. Look at this. This is a nice shot too. His Alfred is excellent. Most people do a pretty good Alfred, though. I will say that it's like he seems like a pretty fun and somewhat accessible character for people to do a nice job on. Again, you can see heavy shadows on Batman does not affect the belt. He does put a little bit of a cast shadow underneath them, but it's just they're impervious to light, and his language of that iconography. But again, you know, different artists will light the pouches and have shadows and all that. But I had a hunch that he probably kept it somewhat consistent throughout the book. These are, you know, it's interesting. It's I with Finch and I, we always would work very, very hard on pages like this and really try to make them nice. And I've said to people that sometimes, I mean, some of the best inks that I think I did on David were sometimes on pages like this, where it's like, you know, you don't let off the gas just because it's not characters in like superhero costumes. And so when you see pencilers actually drawing pages like this and really putting effort into it, is something to kind of applaud. I thought, is that a stat? Yeah. This is a stat of this. It looked like that was zoomed in. I was pretty sure it was. It just looked like a zoom in on something. A lot of times, you know, you get a superhero book and you sign up for, and it's a lot of pages like that. It can be, you know, especially if you're working for a company and the writer is trying to be, you know, that type of writer. They only give a splash of the superhero stuff. They make the readers work for it. This is cool. A lot of black on this page too. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is a dark scene. Oh man, I hope DC does the gallery edition. I would be so on that. I think the last DC Gallery edition I bought was a while ago, but I either got the Sam Keith Batman or a Kelly Jones Batman. They're both really, really cool. The Sam Keith one I wanted to get because I wanted to see like big full size, all the texturing that he did. I didn't. The closest that I had to something like that was I have the Bill Sienkiewicz IDW book. The gallery editions are from DC, and they're done through Graffiti, I believe. But yeah, I wanted to see some gritty art. I you know, try to get a variety of them because, you know, I use them as study tools. So yeah, the Kelly Jones one is so freaking good. Oh my god, it's huge too. It's just hundreds of pages of awesome Kelly Jones scans off the original art. Oh my god, this is nice. I really liked all this creepy stuff with the Court of Owls. I thought it was pretty cool, haunting and weird and fun. Oh yeah, this was a great scene. I like that. It's him like flying in, coming to get you. Is that art? It's an interesting little storytelling beat with the one owl eye. Oh, and we got another one down here. I see. Oh my god, this was so cool. I loved this room with all the stuff in it. This is super creepy. heard any rumblings of any new Arkham Knight games. I would assume, I mean, at some point there'll be another follow-up to those. These were very, very successful games and done really, really well. Yeah, this is also badass. Oh man, look at that. Coolness. Oh, look at you, little owl. Oh, right. That's funny. The bat facing off with the owl. Oh my gosh. This is so nuts. Looks like pretty fun to draw. Oh, this is great. It's like an album cover. Ghost with King Diamond dressed as an owl. Kaboom. The owl is not impressed. He's more mad than the dude. Okay. Oh, wait, yeah, here we go. Oh man, that's cool. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, it's like photos or something, like painting getting blown apart. It's like I see little pieces of Court of Owls. This is kind of the tell of what you're seeing. The frame helps. Wow. Excellent Batman. I still would love to come up with like my super iconic version of Batman just for my own personal satisfaction, not necessarily to do a book of Batman, but it's a fun character to sort of ponder. The nice thing is if you just did it for fun on the side and weren't trying to like appeal to DC, you could really take it some interesting directions. That's cool. That's a big hand. He did some really, like, it's nice because he really gives Glapion some very fun room to breathe in here with these little gaps and stuff like that. I mean, you could definitely keep some of that idea in, and it would look real cool and give it a lot of character, which is what he's indicating. You know, I definitely wouldn't do all black in there. Definitely keep some. And like I had said before, Glapion's really good at texture, like white texture and black texture on things, so there's always a lot of layers of detail which look great. This is nice. Oh my god, I'm gonna need a nap after this. This is a lot of art to look at. Right, what do we got? Well, we can call this the 20,000 subs celebration. I think by the end of the day today I'll have it. So, gotta dig in and do something awesome for it. This is nice. I'm here looking at this stuff is funny. Alright. Holy cow, this is a lot of pages. Alright. I need to go faster. I'm dying. This is pretty cool. Hey, you gotta draw some anatomy. Someone out of their shirt. Oh, that's cool. Nice chunky arms. This too is really good. Yeah, some really good shapes. Ah, man, it's awesome. That down shot here is really cool. Oh yeah, I remember this. If you haven't read this story, hopefully, I honestly don't think anything you've seen so far really would spoil it that bad. I would highly recommend picking this up and checking it out in full color and reading it. Oh, this is such a great sequence. This is so cool, man. Look at the pencils on that. How bold that is. It's funny because in, I think it was Hush or maybe All-Star Batman, Jim would do these wash panels. But this is cool. This reminds me of old school, like John Buscema and some of the stuff, or like that old like EC horror kind of vibe, the way it's penciled, Gene Colan or whatever. But man, this is great. This was so worth doing. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, this kind of reminds of like the size of the panels too. Remind me a little bit of the thing that Jim had done. But I actually like this. I'm not a huge fan of wash in comics. I don't know why. I don't think it colors well. And if you leave it in the book, you really kind of need to have an RGB color. I think like the way that well, I'm so used to seeing it from the originals, but I was gonna say like the Travis X-Men Wildcats is an example. The original work looks beautiful, and it does look nice in the comic, but you know, I think that they did actually print from grayscale files, but they put some color over it just to give it a little bit of a hue. Yeah, sometimes wash colored can look a little, it gets a little murky. Oh, this is great too. Man, it's so badass. That is such a cool shot. He's just killing it with this stuff. So it'd be a lot of work to ink though, I'm telling you. It really looks great in pencil. I wonder, let me just try something really quick. I'm just curious. I'm gonna go grayscale. Go grayscale? Yeah, I'm gonna try to see something here really quick. I'm zooming in to get a dark pixel, but not a pure black one. So when you're like going, what the fuck is going on? Don't worry, I'll zoom out in a second. I'm just trying something. Hit it one more time, and then I'm gonna take out some of the gray. I'll do that, and then let me do this, and we'll have a surprise on our hand. We'll see how this works. I might have taken out too much dark gray. I got a little aggressive with my choices. We'll see. All right, now let's try this. I didn't think it would work, but I was curious if yeah, it didn't really make it as dark as I would have thought. Let me try this. You could do this with curves too. I just want to see something. Yeah, it's a little too rough. He's almost got like a China marker kind of vibe with his pencils. It's funny, but man, this is so great. Really fun page. Some of my favorite stuff in the story. This is cool. High contrast is a really effective thing. I think, and especially if you don't always draw in high contrast, I think, man, you sprinkle a little bit of that in a book, and boy, it really stands out. It's an exciting effect, you know, very dramatic, very, you know, really sets a mood, and it can convey some pretty interesting stuff. So we had seen this shot. I think this was the one we were looking at in the beginning. And this was another sequence that we had in a Dark Knight. I was like, again, it's not the most original thing. I mean, Gordon and Batman pretty much always talk on a rooftop, but oh yeah, this was cool too. Sewer. I love that he did this. This is so clever. The edge. Yeah, the edge, and then the bricks go around it. That's really cool. So I think most people probably would have just had them go straight out, you know what I mean? But yeah, he starts to have it wrap around where you're getting like an opening. You can see it here too. No stone left unturned with Capullo. His ideas are gold. This is such a great sequence too. Love the big shadow of Batman on the wall and coming around the corner. This was cool. Really nice. It was fun sewer design that he used. Oh, this is cool too. You just know that's gonna look so great in color. I'm all about little magical areas like that in the comics. I think are so fun. Oh yeah, he comes through the wall. Gets him. Lots and lots and lots of black on here. Little something there. All right. Just a few more pages to go. Oh yeah. I didn't realize this popped up this soon. Welcome to the labyrinth, Batman. This was some wild shit. Oh yeah. Again, this looks digitally inked. Still quite nice. He left a lot of money on the table if he did do these digital, though. Although now I guess people are selling NFTs and stuff like that. But man, one series you definitely wouldn't want to do digital inks on a cover, or not have an original, would be something like this. The big book. This is just excellent. I'm like, was he nuts enough? No, it's statted. Yeah. Is it? Maybe not. I'm looking at little anomalies like that and then seeing if I can find them here. I don't know. Like this is here. Maybe parts of it, and I mean you can always put a little bit of extra detail on top of a stat. Yeah, parts of it look statted to me. And then parts have a little bit of extra detail. You'll be dead soon, you know. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Ooh. That is really cool. Can you imagine getting beat up by a little kid like that with some sort of psycho badass? That'd be so crazy. Some psycho kid. That's pretty funny. I asked this in another video and no one seemed to reply, but like anyone else using the CLZ Comics app on their for their collection, because it doesn't really matter what it's on. It could be on your desktop, your phone, or a tablet, but it's really cool, man. You can go through your comic book collection and start adding all your books in, and it's really fun to not only look through, but talk about organizing. You can put where you've got it, like what box it's in. It's really, really cool. It's going to be quite the tool for me over the next couple of years. So that was the thing, is I couldn't access my comic collection. It was like just completely out of control. This is so great. I want to join some comic book collecting Facebook groups and see what people are up to, but I'm not interested in modern age. I want to look at stuff from the past more. But there is some cool stuff coming out right now for sure. Man, that's cool. Venom just hit 200, and a new Pepe Larraz book came out too, with Marte Gracia coloring it, which is very badass. But yeah, congrats to those guys, Ryan Stegman. Yeah, it's a powerful Batman. All right. Oh yeah, this is so cool. Oh yeah, like they age. That's right. Like it's like photos of them like when they got there, and then what happened to them. It's so creepy. Oh my god, what a great idea. That's nuts. They're taking the Seven idea to even a darker place. Oh man, brutal. Oh look, there he is. That's the guy from the story. Awesomeness. I'm curious if Capullo will go back and do a run on Spawn, like multiple issues. I think I've mentioned that in other videos before. I know that he's dipped his toe in the Spawn pool, but I'm wondering if Todd will ever just like go, you know what, dude, let's do one more year. You pencil it, I'll ink it, something like that, and just like knock it out of the park, or have Glapion ink it or whatever. But man, that would be great. I would get those for sure. Oh yeah, this is the thing that's rotated. I don't think my computer... Oh, well no. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it was going to let me do it because it was A lot of files open originally. Man, it's so awesome. God, this was such a great story. So unique. I think we're at the end. Okay. Really, really nice design. Kind of Kubrick-ish. That open space and just kind of weird ambiance to it. This is a great little drawing right here. All right. Man alive, that was some good stuff. All right, let's do this one. Whoop, whoop. Oh man, that's so cool. Not that this would ever happen, but it would actually be interesting to see Greg do a Hellboy miniseries. I'd be down for that. I think he could actually do a very, very cool Hellboy book. Oh, that's really cool. Creepy. Okay, we are getting towards the end here. Boy, that was a lot of stuff. This is a good video. This is something that you can always return to and enjoy. And again, I would highly, highly recommend you pick up this book. There's a lot left. I mean, I didn't go through even half of it, I don't think. And you know, like I said, if you're an aspiring inker or even penciler, these are great study tools. Either or, you could learn a lot from it. You grab this and just even study what FCO did with the colors, or Glapion did with the inks, or you know, just what Greg did with the pencils. I can't remember if Unwrapped includes the script. That I don't know for a fact, but that would be an interesting addition, because it is really fun to see what a writer asks for, and then how the penciler sort of takes that information and comes up with what they do. It's really a huge part of the art of storytelling and interpretation. You know, it's you know, you give this script to a different penciler, you know, you would add a completely different vibe. Man, that's nuts. That is so creepy. Yeah. Yeah, this dude would do a badass Hellboy comic. The owl is like, "You not today, Batman." Oh my gosh, now it's completely upside down. Actually, I did a review. The Batman Absolute Court of Owls, I have it on my bookshelf right here, is really cool. And I think it has, I think, the first 6 or maybe 10 comics in them. You could Google it and see exactly what it is. But it's great, and it is big. It's, you know, it's not 11 by 17, but it's, how many inches do you think it is? I'd say 14 inches tall. So it's just under. And how wide would that be? Maybe 14 by 10 is the dimensions on an Absolute. I'm guessing, but it's something like that. But it's substantial, and I mean, it is a great way to actually enjoy the work of FCO and Glapion in a nice big reproduction for now. Mine had printing flaws. The pages were I can't remember if they were trimmed weird, something. So a chunk of pages that were kind of funky. So hopefully it wasn't a thing. It was funny is because I worked at DC at the time, I actually complained to them. But I did it in a nice way. But I wrote kind of one of the top people, and I said, hey, you know, I picked up the Court of Owls Absolute, and it had like binding issues. Like, it was kind of messed up. And I figured you guys would want to know, because it's a fairly expensive book, you know, and an important book too. I think that was part of it. It was like the cost, and also kind of, you know, it's like, it's something that you could be proud of to have in your collection. And they were cool about it, but they said it was a little too late at that point. It had already been printed and it was out, so It was like I didn't get it right when it came out. So cool. Yeah, that's some intense stuff, right? So, okay, last page, and we are going to wrap this up. I don't know if I maybe went out of order with this. I don't remember why this page. Oh, it says page 113. So, look, we went through 113 pages. That is a lot of art. So, take a vitamin, quick nap, and then I want you to watch this again, and then try to learn more. So, anyway, thank you for 20,000 subs. I really do appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. I never ever thought I would come to YouTube and do what we do now. Was not the intention or plan, but it seemed like what people responded to. Patreon to me is more of a learning environment, so there I definitely push that idea more, where it's there's definitely a lot of entertainment videos, but you know, I'm always trying to give people advice as I learn things in terms of just whatever, career advice, drawing advice, anatomy, figure drawing, structure. I've got a bunch of inking videos that I had recorded a while ago that I'm going through and re-narrating, so there's all kinds of fun stuff. So anyway, please follow and support Greg Capullo. I'll have links to his social media. I'll have Scott Snyder, and then yeah, I'll be back probably Wednesday of next week. I'm gonna finish Crystal Planet, and then I'll come back and do a video. But yeah, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great Sunday, and happy Father's Day to anyone that's a father out there, and enjoy the day. All right, bye.